Dude.
Hello, heathens.
Hello, aliens.
Hello. Back again.
Welcome to fall here on the Heathen seasonal channel.
Seriously.
I
I
love it.
I love it so much. The nights are cold again, the mornings are cold again.
Oh my God.
It is going from 60 to 84 all in one day.
I get that people love summer, but I also feel it's like a program thing and all that stuff. And I get that too. But I have decided, and this is the hill I will die on, I'm not moving to Florida when I get old. When I'm old, when I'm already old, but when I'm older, I'm not moving to Florida. You know why? I can't. I have to go north.
Yeah, I love the fall and winter way too much. I just can't imagine. I'm not even gonna be a snowbird. I'm gonna be a snowbird in the way I go for the snow. Like not going anywhere. I can't do it. I'm miserable.
Mm-mm.
You cannot tell me that when it is 85, 90 degrees outside, you're doing anything but staying inside. Because being in the water isn't
Yeah,
even fun at that point. It's hot.
it's hot.
Everything's hot.
Everything's hot. In the water with an umbrella. That would be my thing.
Yeah, literally with an ice pack on my neck. Because you're hot. And standing in the sun, I love the sun and I'm thankful for the sun. Like, I love a cold, brisk, chilly day with the sun out. Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
a
like to be
fucking
cold
kiss.
and then warmed up like the cold-blooded creature I am.
Same, same, same. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, so
Um,
we were talking about something earlier, and it was talking about choosing when to be an NPC in your life instead of being the main character all the time, right? And
yes.
this is how it would like kind of look like,
Hell
right?
yeah. Because we were talking about how, like, we talk about age a lot. We talk about beauty and age. We've done many podcasts, many episodes on this. We've talked
Absolutely.
about, you guys know we fucking talk about it a lot because it's something we encounter a lot.
We're doing
And
it every day.
yes. Yes, especially as a female presenting person, you
Right.
know, you go from being noticed and complimented and catcalled and all the annoying things that come along with that too, to just being a person in a coffee shop and not really being noticed and slipping in, getting your coffee and slipping out without anybody really looking at you or talking to you or anything. And we're talking about, I
Yeah.
was telling Nicole, I was like, I'm gonna be honest, as I'm starting to get older, I'm starting to not get catcalled as much or not get noticed as much. And personally, I think it comes with the awareness of like getting older is not a bad thing. And there is that potential to feel like you are going to be, not noticed anymore. I kind of really fucking love it.
Mm-hmm.
I am okay with being at the end credits when they're going really fast, being coffee girl number 5. Like nobody's
Yes.
pausing to read it because it's going so fast.
No.
I'm okay with
Well,
that.
and and I get the absence of like not having it too. It does somewhat like, oh no, like I won't. And I think it stems from, especially as women, and this is a very like passed down lineage kind of thing, is that if we're not pretty enough, we're not going to get all our needs met. We're not going to get food. We're not going to get love. We're not going to get shelter. We're not going to be safe. Like nobody's going to come to rescue us anymore. Like none of that stuff, right? So I think
Yeah.
inherently, like we we don't, well, especially in my generation, I do believe that it is very much in that kind of thing. Because I noticed that the the younger generations that are coming up, and possibly yours as well, I think yours is probably transmuting this right now, is the fact that they are grossed out by it. They're not dressing for men, they're dressing for themselves. They do things for themselves. They're not looking for the attention. And that's really what the older generations don't understand. Because I had a conversation with a lady that was a little bit older than I was, and she was like, well, if you didn't want the attention, then you wouldn't dress that way. And I'm like, I wasn't going to argue with her. I just literally said, I strongly disagree with you. Now I will tell you, that it took me a while to see this because I
Yeah.
was very heavily programmed in this arena where I would look at a girl as she's walking down the hallway and she's an oversized sweatshirt and she's got shorts on, but you can't see the shorts. And I would say something because I'm sarcastic. I would be like, oh, we forgot pants. And I was even joking. And I realized in that moment where I was attacking another female and was like belittling her because that's what was done to me. So I'm just passing it down, right? So it took me a while to not have that to be my knee jerk reaction and also have the awareness of like, this is the first time in this generation, what is it? Z, I think that Trinity's in.
I think so.
This is the first time that uh, f- um, feminine people can truly dress feminine the way they see it and not have to have anything but their own um approval on it.
Yeah, I
Right? They're
agree.
not I'm not doing it so I get a better husband. I'm not doing it so I get the attention of other people, whether man or woman, this romantic, the sexual drive. Like I had a long time of like, why am I dressing sexy? So you want to fuck me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And this all comes too from like comments on other people's bodies, especially from another female to femme presenting to femme presenting is shitty. Let's make this very clear. This comes from again this conversation of like, like why the fuck are we judging each other? Yet again, we're doing it to each other. Why are we doing this? It makes it okay for
right,
everybody else in the world to do it
right,
because you did it. One of those shitty things. And it's coming from that where it's like, Trinity, we talk about her a lot because this young woman is fucking very influential in our lives. She has
absolutely.
creating a lot of paths of healing for us specifically in like the millennial and um are you millennial?
No, I'm Gen X.
Yeah. So in these two generations specifically, she has
Mm-hmm.
created a lot of healing for us in the way of homegirl wears what she wants to wear based on how she's feeling, and she doesn't give a fuck. And sometimes there's moments in myself where I'm like, damn, those are
Right,
short, dude. And
right,
then I'm like, the fuck? Who, why? In my own body, I'm having to argue with myself of like, why the fuck do you care? And then I don't. Because I'm like,
right.
actually, I really don't. If she's comfortable, fuck anybody that wants to judge her.
Well, and you and I both have, I think, sexual trauma that like we know that it's not safe to do that
Right.
because we were told that if we did that, we got what we deserved,
Right.
right?
To where now that the narration has changed to where she can wear whatever the fuck she wants and I will be her scary dog. I will
Absolutely.
fight a grown man, a grown 6'3" built as fuck man. I don't care. I'll give my life on, I will die on this hill with him.
Yes, I will go to jail happily. I'll be
I,
like, yes, Your
yes.
Honor. Please, yes, Your Honor.
Did you do this? Fuck yeah, I did. And I'd do it again.
100% in a heartbeat.
It's like this whole idea of like, growing old and like your beauty standards changing and not being seen. It's just become so out of touch with like where when society is going and culture is going in the way of like we're not dressing to be seen anymore. We're dressing because we feel good. We're dressing for ourselves. We're dressing
Hmm.
in whatever makes
Hmm.
us feel comfortable, regardless
Hmm.
of what that looks like, whether it's wearing athletic gear because that's what made you feel comfortable today, or
Absolutely.
wearing just a t-shirt and jeans, or wearing something that makes you feel hot as fuck and you're like, fuck yeah, look at me, I'm good. And it's like not look at me in the way of outward projection of in as much as inner projection of like, I love the way I look right now.
Right. And that has now, and that's the whole thing is like that has something to it, right? Like I chose this. I feel good in this. And that's it. It stops right there, right? It doesn't
Hmm.
matter what I'm wearing as long as I feel good in it. And I give permission to all women and all men and anybody in between that, like, if you feel good in it, no matter what society says it is or isn't, wear it.
Fuck yeah.
Wear it. Find yourself. If you're above 60 and they say that you're not supposed to wear your hair long, do you know how many times I've heard that bullshit?
Oh yeah.
Or those shorts are too short because you're too old. Listen, girl. And what I've also found, because I've been hanging out with some people, is that bullying goes in any age. It doesn't stop at high school and it
Mm-mm.
doesn't stop when you have gray hair. It is always slightly there. And what I've been made aware of is that bullying is really that person that is feeling really bad about themselves and they need to take you down just a notch, right?
Yeah.
And like, and of course that hurts, right? That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if we at least allow ourselves and give ourselves permission to be authentic and to do things that you're scared to do, even, and this is why we have a younger generation, and this is why we have an older generation. We need the wisdom of living life that long, and we also need the wisdom of newer eyes. And
Yes.
and it's the blend of the two that is where we're transmuting both sides, right? Like that's where
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to be, is in the middle, really. And I hope that every person finds who they are authentically are and sits confidently in that.
Fuck yeah, dude. Preach it.
Hmm.
Here, here.
Here, here.
Here, here. Hear what you got to say, because that's good. Yeah, like I know that was like a little bit of a TED talk there, a little
Little
high
TED
horse,
Talkie.
got to get up on
Right.
it and
I gotta
talk.
get on my high
But
horse.
it's frustrating still to hear how, like, this whole being an NPC when you want to be is fucking beauty, man. It is so lovely.
Right. So use that NPC. Don't become a victim to it.
Right.
Use it. When you want to have main character energy, stand up and have main character energy. If you need to be a side chick, be a side chick, right? Like, or a side dude. I don't know. Fuck it. You know what? I'm tired of the whole gender thing. It's literally be mature. What I say is what I say. And I mean everybody. I'm not trying to exclude anybody. I'm not saying that anybody's not important, but it it takes me off my flow when I have to like sidestep and dance on eggshells. I'm in it. I'm in it right now. I don't know what to do.
No, I get what you're saying. We appreciate. Here's the thing is we are LGBTQIA and everything in between friendly.
Mm.
We love the Alphabet Mafia.
Absolutely.
We have lots of friends in that realm. We love them. We support them.
Absolutely.
And so when we say
Support
side
them.
chick, it's just because that's the culture of the term.
And I have a small vocabulary, bitches. Like this is how it comes out
With
sometimes.
dyslexia, and we call it dyslexia because sometimes you talk like there's a dick in your mouth and it's awful.
And I'm working on that bullshit too. So here we
Yes.
are.
We're Yeah, but the thing is like Nicole said, just be authentically yourself. And the more you get there, the less you stop caring and the better life is. And you can see all the beauty in these side pieces, being like a side character, the main character, being a fucking, not even a side character. You're, like I said, you're coffee shop person number
Yeah.
20. And
Yeah.
like the end of the credits when they're fucking flying by the screen, nobody even saw your name. It's
Nobody saw your name.
beauty.
They didn't care about your
They
name.
didn't
You
care
were
about
just
your name.
that's why I I know that we had talked about this earlier is like when I'm swimming in the morning, I'm an NPC.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to know my name, my birth chart, my social
Nothing.
security number. I don't even want you to see me. I want to be a phantom in the pool. Like
Yes. You are a dark mark that's like a shark. You're just moving through the water and that's it. You move back
That's
and
it.
that's it. That's all you
That's
do.
right. That's right. And see, that's how we can use it. Like going to the grocery store. Let's be an NPC. If you want,
Yeah.
if you want to be a main character, then that's okay too. I'm not saying that one is bad, one's the other. I'm trying to show the difference and when to use these energies to your benefit, right? How do
Yeah.
you feel today? NPC, that's the way I'm feeling. In and out, that's what we're doing, right? Like go team. Let's go.
Let's go team. Go team
Right.
go. Cheerleaders.
We're doing it.
Okay. That was our rant. We had to talk about it
I had to
because,
rant. I'll probably rant a couple more times. It's fine,
oh,
but
fuck yeah. We always rant. Come on
I'm in
now.
I'm in
We
a
are the
hole.
masters of roundabouts.
I do love roundabouts.
We'll take one
Those are my
roundabout, we'll come
favorite.
back to it, and we'll come back to where we began. We'll get there eventually, but there's like 20 roundabouts we're gonna go around
Right,
first.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So two things. One, today's episode's going to be a long one because we have 12 houses of astrology to get to. We're going to move through them kind of quickly, but there are things we have to talk about with each house just to make sure we understand.
Hmm.
Part two of my little preface is next week we were going to do something different. We're going to save that for next season, but we're going to talk about all the side pieces within astrology that nobody really talks about, like different kinds of systems and all these little things that you'll see when you're looking at your circle chart. You'll see like the little guy with two circles that looks like a horseshoe. That's your north node. There's one flipped upside down. That's your south node. We're going to get
Right.
into all of that next week because both Nicole and I also want to get into this because we need this knowledge. We have to know this. If we're supposed to read our own charts or try to mildly understand this, we need to
All
know this
right.
shit. So,
Well, that's the thing is like having a conversation with an astrologer, it makes you more um acceptable. You won't get so lost in the termination and you can get to the meat of the source, right?
yeah.
So having this loose like kind of not only helps you research your stuff, especially like I'm going through this hard thing. Where is it? And then a lot of times I look at my chart, and when I look at my chart, then I go onto a whole research like, whole. And that's really helped me in. So with these little bits that we really need to kind of like bring to light, I think it'll help you and me. And really, we're just doing it for us. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, really, we're just taking you guys on our journey. That's
Right.
been the whole
Come along.
reason for the podcast. Anyways, you guys are just on this journey with us, and we hope you
That's
enjoy
right.
it. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, man.
That's right. We're heathens. You guys made choices today.
Also, another side note, if you guys see me moving a lot or tweaking a lot, I slept on my neck wrong. I'm not on drugs. My neck is hurting, and sometimes I move and it like does that little sharp pain. So I'm like, "Ugh," and I'm just moving a lot. So FYI.
It's drugs.
It's drugs, actually. Yeah. Caught me red-handed.
Mine's drugs. I can't help you. Just kidding.
Fucking neck, dude. I'm like, how fucking old am I? I wake up and I've slept on my neck wrong, and I'm like, ugh.
I've
I'm
been
like
watching a
bending
lot of
down.
those. I've been watching a lot of those reels about like Gen X and millennials and Gen Z and how they all talk to each other and stuff. And that was one of the things with the millennials is that he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass. And Gen Z is like, well, I'm gonna wait for you to like stretch. He's like, I know you're making fun of me right now, but
Uh,
thank you. And then he hurts his neck, and I'm like,
okay, yeah, but seriously, I'm over here like bending down to pick something up. I went to feed the cats, and I'm like, oh. Then I'm like, ow, ow, ow. Okay, okay. And then the cats are like, wee, and I'm like, oh my god, my neck, dude, chill out. I'm moving as fast as I can. Badasses. I love you so. Have you seen the videos on TikTok that are like they're like picture reels and it's like the first one's like, hey guys, I'm so sorry, but we don't have the money for like treats this month or like extra things this month. And then the one cat's like, it's okay, mother, I love you so much. And the last cat's like a fat cat, and they're like, fuck you, bitch. I want my goddamn treats. I don't care if you go broke. And I'm like, I feel like that was my cats this morning. Lilith is like, I do not give a flying F that your fucking neck hurts. Give me my food.
how dare you,
God,
servant?
hurry up. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I kind of treat my cats like I love them to death, but I will never I chase them so they know who's alpha.
I do too, yeah. Sometimes I'll hear them waiting outside the bedroom door for me. So I'll whip it open and I'll like slide my feet on purpose to scare them more. And I'm like, fucking right.
I hold them up, sound like a baby, and make them stay there, and then I kiss their face
Yep. Yep.
just so they know.
I look at Lucy and I'll hold his face sometimes and I'll be like, you are my child and I love you. Don't you ever forget it. You're not allowed to
I,
look away. You're going to get kisses to the mouth.
that's right. That's right. I want teeth. I want teeth when I kiss. I want those little teeth.
Yeah, those little baby tiny teeth. I'm like, let me see them. Sometimes Lucy will put his hand on my face and push me away, and I'm like, get that shit out of here. You don't get a choice
How
in
dare
this.
you?
You will accept my
You
love.
will accept my love. Okay,
Okay.
now that we tortured our cats, hi,
Yes.
confession times on Heathen of the People. This is how
Also
we.
tortured you guys. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You chose to be here. Um,
You made bad choices.
you made choices. We say this a lot. You made choices. Okay. Okay, so talking about the 12 houses of astrology,
Okay.
which houses the planets show up in your birth chart reveal how and where that energy manifests. So we kind of talked about it a little bit going through it, the zodiac signs, but think about the 12 houses as like part of a clock, right? And each of the 12 is equally divided segments representing an area of your life.
Yes. So it's
And
going to look like this is
yes,
a pie chart. These are the signs that the houses or the zodiac signs. So they flavor the houses. And then the structure that, okay, hold on. Um, the house itself has its own flavor, right? Because we're going to make a soup. This will be easier. Then the zodiac sign and the strength of the zodiac sign also has a flavor. And then you put in spices of the planets that are in the soup, in
yeah,
those, right? Because you can't make onion soup with just onion.
really?
I mean, I'm not very much of a cooker, but like,
No, I'm kidding. You really can't. That would be nasty. I'm only laughing because Nicole has a soup for everything. If you need something explained in life, ask her what soup recipe it would be. And it makes so much sense. I don't know why soup has been deemed the heathen like template for explaining things, but it really has because it's just easier to understand.
absolutely. Because, like, if you think about it, like, if I in my chart have too much pepper in, like, with my friends, then I know I'm spicy with my friends. Like that's
Yes,
kind of how, like, oh, is my soup too spicy for you? I'm sorry.
yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
I mean, it makes sense. So, like, what's just to give you guys an example, if you have an Aries Mars in, let's say, your fifth house, which is romance, play, and creativity.
Hmm.
I mean, that's a lot of spice because relationships begin under the fifth house parameters. So, like, coming in hot and heavy, dude, that's like a whole pop of freaking cayenne in your mouth or fucking habanero.
Right. And this is where the whole thing is like, where sometimes where if I'm a glass of whiskey and you don't like whiskey,
Yeah,
then, and that's not a bad or good thing. It just is like a flavor preference, right? But we take it so
absolutely.
personally, right? So if you think about yourself, and I have a Taurus moon, so of course all my analogies are going to be with food and drink and sex because that's what I
Taurus,
like,
baby.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I like. So, and that's the whole thing is like it kind of helps a little bit with like if I'm feeling insecure because somebody doesn't like me or they tried me and they didn't like me, do you think the whiskey cares that you don't like whiskey? No, the whiskey gives no fucks, right?
Right.
So this is how we can kind of lose that personal part of it and just kind of move on or move through it, right?
Right. Okay, my friend, you ready to start getting into the houses here?
Yes.
We're of course going to go in order, 1 through 12. So, first house is representing yourself, your physical body, and your appearance. And this house is ruled by Mars and corresponds with the first sign in the zodiac, which is going to be Aries.
Hmm.
It's easier to think of this house as when the sun rose at the beginning of your life. Like if you're thinking about it like the time of clock too. This is your
Hmm.
first one, your first hour. This house is
This
gonna
is
go
right.
ahead.
You show your face to the world kind of thing, like as you're being born and everybody, it's all new. Everybody's showing you to all these people, that kind of thing. Like this is very much this house for sure.
And that analogy is great. Keep that in mind because your first house is what's going to cover a lot of firsts in your life, like first impressions, taking the initiatives, fresh starts, new beginnings. And that's a great way to remember that is like it's like your first, you're waking up, your first breath in life, your first walking into a room. It's that first impression, that fresh start, that new beginning is what could be in your first house.
Hmm.
Your first house also is going to reveal insights into your appearance and your ego, your drive, your self-image, and your personal views.
Hmm. What do you have in your first house?
My first house is my ascendant, I believe, is in my first house. And that's the only thing. Yes. My rising in Pisces is in my first house.
Do you feel like you show as a Pisces?
I have been told when people try to guess that I do come off as a Pisces.
Okay. Um, Now, this is why we kind of went towards our next episode being about all the little other thing. Hold on. I'm really mad about the pattern right now. Ugh. So, what I had discovered is there's two types well, there's more than two types, but we're gonna go with just two. Is what was that first one that we looked up? It wasn't Palladians, it was
Placidus,
Placidus.
Placidus.
So this is a placided chart where the signs, if you notice, like here is the house here, but like my wheel is not perfectly in this house. Oh, wait. So here's this house. It goes from there's the borders right here. But you notice that my chart inside is a little bit off kilter. So it's like somewhat in Scorpio and somewhat in mostly in Sagittarius. So this is that kind of chart. Now, until we do the research, I don't know what that means. And that's what started the whole thing. This is a hold on. This is a whole sign one where everything, all the zodiac signs and the house parts equally go in. So it shifts it a little bit. Like for me, my Pluto went from my first house to my 12th house when these two are when we're comparing the two. That was all said for my I guess Pluto is in my first house.
Yes. Isn't I think if I remember correctly, all rising signs are in the first house because that
They
is
are.
where the sun, again, when we were talking about the sun rose at the beginning of your life, your rising will always be in your first house.
Right. So like if we compare the two, Libra is my rising sign. But if we look at the Placid chart, I'm mostly Scorpio and my ascendant is in Libra, but Libra is my 12th house in the Placid one, where whole house Libra is my first house. So I should
Mhm.
look like a Libra, but I do believe that I look more like a Scorpio and come off more as a Scorpio.
Yeah, which would make sense to me too. Yeah, because like this makes sense that this is our first house and also your ascendant's always in it because any planets in this house, it's going to greatly influence your personality and how others perceive you. And that's exactly what your rising sign is like that outward perception of you.
Yes. This is also like the way you would dress, the way your face shape is, the way, again, like the way I meet people, the way you meet people, right? Like if
Hmm.
you're very, why am I having a brain? Pisces, you would flow, you would be very intuitive, you would love pretty pictures, like, that kind of thing. Like it would, um, that's how you would first come off.
Yeah, apparently I first come off very nice, very energetic, and very happy. Get to know me a little more mellow, I'd say.
Right, right.
So yeah, your first house is all about not only reaching your ultimate personal potential, but it's also going to tap into how you can uniquely contribute to the world too. It's that outer perception, how you can contribute outwardly. So this can be a lot of insight into you in the 3D physical world is going to be your first house. Ready for the second?
Yes. Oh, wait.
Um, oh, go ahead.
No, that's not it. Okay, go.
Okay, our second house is going to be about value, money, self-worth, and possessions.
Mhm.
And what's going to be easy to remember about this house too is it's ruled by Venus and corresponds to Taurus, which if it's about possessions and self-worth, man, Venus and Taurus are right there with you. This house is going to ask us to like explore the concept of value, whether that be physical or internal. It's going to matter about what planets are in that chart and what sign that planet's in too. It's going to show you how it shows up in that way.
I do believe I saw somebody say that this is a good chart or good part of your chart to look and research how the best way you would make money as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was reading about that too, because it also includes like income potential and banking and investment savings and debit, wealth budgeting and financial status, which makes a lot of sense because the big key one words here are going to be value, money, self-worth, and
Hmm.
possessions. It's all about
Hmm.
you and your money.
Hmm.
The other thing is when it comes to self-worth specifically too, this is going to include you owning up to your feelings and emotions as well as claiming ownership over yourself. That's going to be a big role in this house as well,
Hmm.
which mine is clear. I have nothing
So
in my
if
second
it's
house.
if it's clear, who rules your second house?
Aries.
So look where your Mars is, and that's where you would find how the best way to make money.
My Mars is in Libra, directly
What?
across from my second house. It's in the eighth.
Mars is in Libra. So that's your eighth house? Okay, so that's where you would potentially make money is through transformation, which is exactly what you're doing.
Right. So that's a good quick way too. Do you just see how she did that? If you like don't have anything in that, you look where your Mars is, you're going to see it directly across. Well, mine's directly across.
Right.
Great way to see that.
Well, because you would take because your Aries is governing that house, that's why you would go to Mars. Now, if it was like mine is Sagittarius, I have Neptune in my second house, which I'm going to promptly look that up as soon as I get off of here.
Hmm.
Um, that's where I would look at how the best way for me to make money. And with Sagittarius, I would have to have that kind of energy also looked at to combine the two.
You said your Neptune's in the second house in Sag.
Yes.
Fosters the cultivation of a wealth of wisdom. These individuals tend to acquire tokens of experience and knowledge. Moreover, this placement may emphasize the philosophical lack of interest and importance over material and superficial possessions. Um, Basically, you enjoy wisdom and knowledge and you look for that.
Oh my God, do I? If
Um,
it was a food, I'd eat it.
yeah, that's all you would eat. I get it.
Seriously, that's for sure. I would be a philo I don't even know how to say that. I was trying to make a pun.
Philosopher,
Yeah. I was trying to make it like a vegetarian, philosophantarian.
philosophitarian. I
I
like
was
it.
I think I was trying too hard though.
So our second house is also going to reveal our sense of self and security. And it's going to encourage you to focus on the five senses because it's important to be in touch with our pleasure that comes from taste, touch,
Mm-hmm.
smell, all of that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
because Venus is our ruler here, the exploration of beauty is also going to live in the second house. It's just going to remind you like what you surround yourself with has an impact on how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Think Taurus, think Venus. When you think the second house, we're going to be thinking money, possessions, self-worth, things that make us feel
Mm-hmm.
good. Remember, Venus is our Marie Antoinette of the planets.
And Taurus wants to feel comfortable.
Yes.
It likes it.
Hmm.
Um, so that would be your main flavor of the dish. And then it would be because even like the strength of Neptune in Sagittarius wouldn't necessarily be strong because Neptune is a water sign, Sagittarius is a fire sign. They don't they're opposites. So my Neptune wouldn't necessarily be so strong in that. It wouldn't be necessarily weak, but it wouldn't be so strong.
Right.
So that's why when you're talking about flavors, like do I have too much pepper in this or do I have not enough pepper in this kind of thing?
Yeah, where it's like the pepper would be pretty mild in that.
Right, right, right.
Um, Moving on to the
Okay.
third.
Number three.
So our third house is all going to be about communication, early schooling, and siblings. This is ruled by Mercury and corresponds to Gemini. Remember our chatty Cathy's.
Mm-hmm.
It has everything to do with how you communicate with others. It is going to be your third house. It also rules our
Mm-hmm.
thinking patterns, our talking style, our language, our logic, and of course, technology, with Mercury being a ruler as well there. And it's going to serve, the third house is going to serve as a reminder of how powerful, quick, and versatile your mind really is. It's going to show that. If the third house had a motto, it'd be like think, process, share, repeat. Think, process,
Mm-hmm.
share, repeat. So this is also going to be a house based on how you share and process information.
Yes. I have a couple more. It says short trips is governed by this too. Goddess because of number three. Um, Neighborhoods as well.
Yep. It's going to be like also libraries and school experiences and teachers.
Yes. Yep.
Also
What do you?
secondary relationships like kindred spirits and like
Okay.
those mental connections will also be shown up here. And then I thought this was cool. It also can be an indicator an individual's taste in reading and writing too. I was like, huh, I did not
All
know that.
right. Reading and writing. Oh, okay. What do you have in your third house?
Nothing but Taurus rules it.
Taurus rules it. Where's your Venus? It's in
Virgo.
Virgo. I wonder if this works the same way. It probably does. Virgo. So Taurus and Virgo or definitely would be like sisters because they're both earth signs, right? So you would be really into all the small details in this like communication with your siblings, with your communication style, what you read for sure is like right there because like where Taurus is very again comfortable. It wants to be comfortable. It wants to like um it wants to have beauty. So all of the communication you would have would be beauty and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and like also Taurus being in the third house, it's going to be like that's why I like to take my time with learning too. And I'm not like a quick, let's get it done, let's go. Because like
hmm
remember, it's steady. Taurus is steady. So
it's fixed. Hmm
fixed. Yep. So even if you don't have a planet in, look at that ruling sign to kind of get an idea of like what that looks like for you.
Right.
It's great that you're giving these examples, bud. Do you have anything in your third house?
This is where my stellium is. So I have Mars. It's first of all, it's in Capricorn. It's Mars, Sun, and Mercury in that house. So my Mercury would definitely be exalted. Um, well, in Capricorn. My Mars is definitely strong. My Sun, I don't know if they play well together because they're so far apart and Saturn's cold compared to the hot sun. So I would almost think that would be a little bit weaker because it doesn't hit it all the way. But it is the last planet that we could see with the naked eye. Um, Mercury and Capricorn. Well, this would definitely be like when I communicate, when I show myself, and how I move would all be with that Capricorn energy.
Hell yeah, your responsibility too and adaptability of like
Hmm.
how you can adapt quickly and then move through it.
The way I talk to uh my sibling, the way I did schooling, because I anything I do is um I gotta remind myself not to be so serious a lot of the time because I forget that part.
Yeah, that fucking stellium Capricorn, dude. You're
Girl,
she's like, nah, we're serious. It's okay, you're gonna be serious.
like I'm
I
serious.
seriously mean that.
I seriously mean that. Okay, next one.
Fourth house is home, family, and ancestral patterns. This is ruled by the moon and corresponds with Cancer. And this is going to represent having everything to do, represents everything having to do with what you think of when you think of home sweet home. This is your
Hmm.
home. This is going to encompass a broad range of associations from your ancestral roots, from old age endings and final resting places as well. And this is an area of the birth chart that extends to your physical home, right? This is your home sweet home one.
Hmm.
This rules the place where you find shelter and whatever structures you're able to feel safe with, and not only in a physical sense. So it's gonna be finding home in people too. That can show you a
Right.
lot of this too. It's gonna be like friendships. Um, Let's see. It also represents family history, customs, and traditions. So the idea of parents stems from this house as well, specifically the mother or whoever is your nurturing parent is. This person will most likely help you develop your true sense of home and what you require to feel secure.
It's interesting because the one I have says father.
Yeah, because I had the
It does make more
fathers.
sense that that it would be the mother because it's cancer, right? So it's interesting that this says it here. This is why this gets a little tricky is because um a lot of things in the um metaphysical world, you really have to kind of like take what is best for you because a lot of things are can be switched weirdly.
Yeah, 100%. That's why every reading you get from different people could be different too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the
So
fourth,
maybe just using parent instead of like mother or father.
yeah, because that's what they said specifically, like whomever you feel more the nurturing parent is,
Nurturing.
that could be in this fourth house as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that nurturing parent's going to be the person who's likely helped you develop your true sense of home and like what you require to feel secure.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, this all house I also has represents or what's included in this is like privacy and security systems,
Yeah.
children, your own parenting abilities, and your self-care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because all that stuff is with the nurturing sign of Cancer.
Which when you put the signs together, now that we've done the signs and we're going into houses, I'm so glad we did it this way because I feel like it's making the houses much easier to understand because now we have an understanding of basic understanding of the signs, right?
Hmm.
And that makes so much sense.
Well, and this goes to the whole thing of like, this is how we actually start to see the web of everything's connected because you can see, like, oh, this house is ruled by this. And I know Cancer because I am a Cancer. So, of course, like, then I already know how this house kind of feels because it has that like element in it, right?
Yes,
So, what do you
absolutely.
have in
Well, we have the things that we do not know yet are in this, like your South Node and your Coli, that one. But it is ruled, my fourth house is ruled by Gemini. So I'm reading it's like this,
Mercury? Where's your Mercury at?
Mercury is in, I know this Libra. Why didn't I knew that? Hello.
Well, and you said your South Node or your North Node's in here?
My South Node and my Coli.
I
Coli.
don't know what the coli is, but
Me neither.
um, I don't know. One of the nodes means something we are learning in this lifetime, where the other node means what we brought in with us, like a gift.
Quick Google search.
Google?
North Node represents the path that we're going into through this life, while the North Node
Hmm.
represents where we're coming from and what we're bringing into life. Did I say North Node twice? I think I did.
You did, yeah.
North is where we're going, South is what we brought.
Okay.
And mine being in Gemini is all about freaking intellectual curiosity and lots of conversation is where I feel very comfortable in. I like
Hmm.
talking.
Hmm. This also, I would think that you would have a really strong connection with your ancestors as well and your roots and lineage. Because like even if you didn't like necessarily know them, I think you could tap really quickly into them because of that. The communication is there, that root, that like that lineage.
Heck yeah. Because I see I'm almost 100% sure that this is who it is, but I've actually talked to my grandpa about it and he thinks it is too. My grandpa had a brother whose name was Roy, who passed away on my birthday, mind you. Not the same year though. He passed away in one of the lakes in Jackson from drowning. And
Oh wow.
my grandpa tells me all the time he thinks that we are kindred spirits.
Well, it's interesting because like you're a Pisces. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
ish.
thought about that too, where I'm just like, how funny, because
Hmm.
like my grandpa always says that my Uncle Roy would have absolutely loved me because I'm like the spinning image of him and I remind him of him a lot. And I'm like, dude, that ancestral patterns, what if like that
Right, right,
could have been him? Could
right. You could be him.
could be him. Time is irrelevant, peoples.
If
Time
right.
is a man-made concept. Let me get started.
Don't. I'm gonna get on that soapbox. Don't
I
make
was gonna say,
me.
don't make me get on that soapbox. We've been there. We've been there plenty of times. But yeah,
Um,
like that, I find comfort in conversation.
Absolutely. Well, and let's see here. I believe too, because like your family and home life, uh learning all this stuff really makes you comfortable too to kind of like make sense and all that kind of stuff too. Like it gives you that logical reason and that knowledge of like, oh, this is why and to make that understanding. Like that is definitely a comfortability that you have.
Absolutely. It makes sense. I love learning this stuff. What's in your fourth house? Anything? What's it in?
It is mostly ruled by Aquarius, and I have that's where my Venus is. So that is ruled by Sag or that's ruled by.
Mhm.
So my Venus is not necessarily going to be very strong in this because Saturn rules Aquarius. Also, what is the other one that it rules? It is Nep no, Uranus. So Uranus and Sagittarius, Jesus Christ. Saturn kind of rule that Aquarius sign. Um, so where I will find like my passion to is, oh, it's interesting that that says father too. Um, I love to be private. I do, I put all my whole being into my family and home, right? Like a lineage was never a strong thing for me, but I'm wondering if like that's where I should kind of look into. I do believe that my past kind of weighs heavily on this as well.
Independence would be strong in this household too, with the Aquarius ruling as well.
That's true. I forget about Aquarius. It's a lot to kind of like meld together at one on the fly. Because I'm like trying to look at what fourth house means and what Aquarius means and what Venus means all at the same time.
Yeah, because like I feel like with you having Aquarius ruling, yeah, you're gonna have like a lot of that independence in the house and with the family and things like that, which is very true of your life. Like your house, you have independence within your household, you create independence for other people within your household. Like you're not,
I also manage the
yeah,
household, right? Like I'm the one that like, all right, you're getting up. This is your schedule. I need you to be on time. Let's go. Like,
right, right. You're like, come on, baby, let's go.
mm-hmm.
Also, it could be because, Aquarius is our unconventional sign. You could do it in unconventional ways where
Oh,
it's not so, people come over and they're like, oh, you know, how you must just like set alarms. Everybody sets their own alarms and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I say it once and then you need to get up. That's it. That's the
that's it.
independence
That's
of
all
I
it.
did what I
Yep.
needed to do. I care about you and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, you ready, Freddie?
Rudda.
Okay, our fifth house is going to be romance, play, and creativity. It's ruled by the sun, so of course it corresponds with Leo.
Children, good fortune and sex for some reason. At least that's what my
Mm.
pie says.
Which makes sense because romance, play, creativity. Like I know that I have read that like this is where your childlike fun shows up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big
Mm-hmm.
important for this one and where you can tap into your inner child. So that makes a lot of sense. Um, Sex makes sense too because this is like where a lot of relationships begin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it only covers like that emotional satisfaction you usually get from others. So it's like that immediate, pleasure
Mm-hmm.
response. Um, Living on the edge, taking risks and money or just in general is going to be within this house too. You'll find gambling here.
Ooh.
Um, Creativity is a
Ooh.
major theme, so like artistic creation and fulfillment. Basically, this house is going to represent everything to do with feeling good.
Yes. Yeah, your passions. Like,
Pleasure house, man. It's the fifth
mm-hmm. And if
Beetlejuice.
you, so, right. What is in your fifth house?
Nothing, and it is ruled by Pisces. Or
Oh my
Cancer, I'm
God.
sorry, Cancer.
Oh, I said mine's ruled by Pisces. Yours is ruled by Cancer. So where is your moon?
Aquarius.
Aqu- So your pleasures are going to be different and bigger picture kind of things. Like, you're probably very taboo because you're not going to see them like most people will, and it won't be traditional at all. Like it'll be very like um not what the norm is going to be. Um
I- it's so funny you say that because I literally just read caution about emotionally gambling with life and taking risks. That caution, like that, not that, yeah, sure, let's just go for it.
let's do it. That's my passion. Jumping off the cliff every time. Yeah, so everything that you're gonna want to do is very much feeling based too. Whether
Mm,
you feel good, you'll do it. If you don't feel good, you will not do it because it's ruled because of the moon.
makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
What's your fifth house then?
Mostly Pisces.
Oh,
And
that's right.
nothing. There's nothing there. So Pisces is ruled by what's Pisces ruled by? Jupiter?
Yes.
Where's my Jupiter? My Jupiter is in Taurus.
Or I'm sorry, it's Neptune.
Well, it would be Jupiter in the old system, but Neptune as well. So if we go with Jupiter, it's Taurus. If we go with Neptune, it's Sagittarius. So let me see. I almost feel like it would be more Jupiter because it's in Taurus, and I feel like I have a tendency to overindulge.
No.
Not
Not
me.
you. What do you
And
mean?
I don't necessarily know how to like I'm fixed once I'm there, right? Like
Mhm.
if I'm sitting in bed, I'm sitting in bed for 8 hours. Like I don't do little, I've been learning how to maintain it more in little segments instead of being all or nothing, but actually taking like a nicer middler path instead of like, then I'll take a nap for an hour and have a time limit instead of like sitting in bed for 8 hours,
Yeah.
doom scrolling and rotting.
Also, your fifth house being in Pisces is where your artistic hobbies come from too. Also,
Ooh.
your relation to mysticism, occultism, and intuitive insights is going to be here too, because it makes you more sensitive with it being in Pisces.
Oh, that's really nice. I need to tap into that more.
That's where it's so easy for you to pick up and be fluid with art. You just pick it up whenever you want to and just roll with it.
Well, that's what sometimes it's really hard to like, um, stuff that you've always is just natural, you don't look at so much, so you forget it's there almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having a tattoo on the back part of your body and you fucking forget it's there. And then somebody's like, hey, I like that tattoo. And you're like, I have that? What are you talking about?
Where do
Or
you
it's like,
see that?
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, so that's where your artistic ability is sitting. And I think somebody on TikTok had said that if you don't have something in that, that's one you've already mastered, right?
Right, right. Because that's always playing back in the back of my mind when I see an empty house now, because I had nothing to put in empty houses, and it was really nice to have that in there.
Yeah.
Um, that might be one of the things we need to bring up when in the next episode too, is empty houses.
Empty houses.
Um, all right, so moving on to what are we doing? Sixth house.
The sixth house. This is your daily routines, your work and health. This is also ruled by Mercury and corresponds with Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency, illnesses, and bad luck are all a part of life, and this house seeks to explores ways, use, can overcomes them. I've reached your full potential. Already.
Oh, good Lord.
God almighty.
It also says health, wellness, routines, illness, as you said, uh, work and pets. So this is
Hmm.
your day-to-day life. This is like
Your
I gotta go to the
hygiene,
grocery store, I gotta do this, I gotta like
your routine.
um I bet you I wonder if we took the progression chart, like what my chart looks like today, I wonder if something went through my sixth house to start me like swimming or being more mindful about my body and my physical like movement and stuff like that.
Oh, I bet it directly correlates because, like, this is also where
Hmm.
your because personal growth is going to be huge here too.
Hmm.
Huge.
Ouch.
But this house is also going to show you where you can explore your shortcomings and course correct too. Like if
Hmm. Hmm.
planet's not healthy there, happy there, it's going to tell you like where you probably need to look at in your life to like remind you. It's going to remind you where you need to be healthier, or like where you could be stronger in things.
Hmm.
Let's see here.
What do you got in your sixth house?
Nothing. It's in my sixth house is in Leo.
Leo, where's your son?
Libra
Libra.
in the eighth.
Leo. So this would be a place where you would be very prideful in, and it would be very strong because um so your health routine, like these are things that would make you feel super good and very projective of like health routine, um, work, all that stuff would make, it helps you be very prideful about your life when you're on that, right?
Yeah, I also just read one that says that childish joy needs to be found in a workplace for Leo
Mm-hmm.
within the sixth house rule, or Leo ruling the sixth house, which makes sense
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, I freaking love having fun at work. It's just I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy my job.
Absolutely.
I feel very lucky. All this stuff makes me feel very lucky that I've chosen the job I've chosen. Woo.
Well,
What
because you needed somewhere that would be fun, where you could shine, where you could be creative, where you could, really have the center of you be the center of the universe kind of thing.
right. Makes sense to me. So would that mean your sixth house is in Aries?
It is,
Makes sense because we're going around the wheel, dog. I just
it
realized
is.
that.
So where is my Mars? It's in Capricorn.
Do you have anything in your sixth house?
No.
Ah, Mesta.
Let's see here. Mars, Capricorn, Aries. So my Aries and my Capricorn work pretty well, and Mars will be very strong in because it's exalted in Aries. Oh God, I don't even know. Let's see here. This is where I like to um day to day would love to have these deep conversations of debating, like back and forth. Like I want to argue a little bit. I want the back and forth. Like I don't want to get mad, not an argument like you're mad and I'm mad and we walk away from each other. Like that debate of where you like change my mind. Like let's have a
Yeah.
conversation. I want to have more information. Aries being the first sign and like new things, this would be uh I'm gonna have to find like I have to find play and I'd have to really enjoy doing stuff for my health and wellness and finding that um this is why routines are boring to me.
This is why you like changes in your routine.
Yes.
This is why you literally love to change up your routine. This is why when somebody says in your class, okay, now we need you to add this to your routine, you're like, yep, and I'm going to write that in there and I'm going to do that and I'm going to set the timer for that. And now I have to change my daily routine again and I love it.
Absolutely. The change in routine, because it does, it gets bored. Everybody, you get bored in routines. And Aries, for one thing, needs to be stimulated all the fucking time.
Hmm.
I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored.
This is also again why you're a very independent person.
I'm
Because
bored.
like this gives you that high motivation, like when it comes to like your work and health and that independence, you like that you get to change your life and like your daily routine. You like that
Hmm.
challenge. Aries is like, let's go, baby.
Let's go. We
New
gotta do it.
routine.
Well, and that's, I think, why I like swimming as well, is because the change in it, even though it's routine, the change, especially because I have to go to a public place, the change in like what happens at any given moment is like enough change in it for me to keep the routine.
Yes,
And I do feel like a child when I'm in the pool.
that's good.
Like I can be serious and do, laps like, oh, I'm gonna do these laps. Bah! And then I go, now I'm gonna play mermaid.
See, this is where I wonder if obviously we're going to talk about this the next time because I wrote degrees on the chart, but is it close to your fifth house? Or is it more
Close to
towards the middle or this towards the seventh?
what's that?
You're like where that's hitting. Oh wait, you don't have anything in that. That's right.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. It is fully in Aries though. There's no like half and half. You know how it's like not a whole sign chart? It is fully in Aries though.
Okay. Because
So
I
this
was
makes a lot
wondering.
of sense because if I change my routine, like I like structure because my Capricorn likes that shit.
Yep.
So I have to maintain structure while fucking it up in the middle
Yeah, otherwise you'd get fucking bored, dude.
all the time, right? And then I become a sloth because I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Seventh house.
Seventh house. This is our house of the committed partnerships. This is ruled by Venus and corresponds with Libra.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to represent everything to do with relationships and interacting with other people on a one-to-one level. So this is going
Mm-hmm.
to govern all partnerships, both personal, professional, all matters linked to partnerships like contracts,
Yeah.
business deals, all of that.
Long-term stuff.
Hmm. Platonic intimacy, companionship.
Mm-hmm.
This also is going to be where separations, divorce, personal and professional enemies can lie too.
Ooh, spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah, if we go across the way and we go to the first house and that's all about us and our personality and all that stuff, then this mirrors everybody on the other side. So everybody that's projected out. So anybody that you interact with, um, it's not so much like the fifth house where you have that spark or connection when you first meet somebody. This would be moving in. So your fifth house would almost like move into your seventh house.
Hmm.
Um, what do you have in your seventh house?
My
Isn't your
Virgo,
stellium in it in this?
no, that's in my eighth. My
Oh,
Virgo Venus is in my seventh house, which is ruled by Virgo. Remember when I said the best reading I ever got, he told me that my Virgo Venus is extremely strong because not only is it in my seventh house, it's also ruled by Virgo in that house, on top of it being on a fixed star.
hi.
I hold myself and others to really high standards. Hi. Hello, but I'm not sorry.
Well, and this is the
Yeah.
thing is that, yeah, you could be very like with your relationships, you are going to be very much like if you did not live up to my standards, you're out.
And if I don't live up to my standards within the relationship either, I'm out.
Well, yeah, duh.
And it's like everything. And it's why I'm like, even with bosses, I hold my bosses. If I'm going to work for you, I hold you at a very high regard. We got rules.
I got rules.
I got rules. And if you don't follow those, bye.
Out.
High regard, man.
Disappointed.
Me as an employee, high regard. I'm trying to meet those standards too, dude. Ridiculous.
Good luck. My goodness.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, that one's freaking rough. I have learned though how to kind of try to work with it though, because
Well, the nice thing is you could be very grounded in that too, right? Like that is a very earthy sign. It gets the job done. Like you're in it to win it. You're not gonna try and like it's very mercurial too, so it could be very it's gonna be both bad and good. It's gonna have that double-edged sword because Mercury is a trickster planet. It's not good, it's not bad.
right.
So it's gonna have both those kind of qualities playing out in all of your relationships.
This is where my Captain Save-A-Ho comes from,
Mm-hmm.
is that. Because I'm like, no,
I
I'm
can
in it
fix
for the
him.
long haul. I'm gonna fix it.
I'm
We're
gonna fix
good.
it.
I'm
I
here.
I just gonna fix him. It's fine.
So
Oh
your
shit.
seventh house would be in Taurus then, yes?
Yes, it
Or
is in
well, Taurus
Taurus.
rules.
Taurus. So I have Lilith and Jupiter.
I forgot to write down Lilith for the next episode.
And I think I have my is hold on. North node is down and
Yeah, it
south.
looks like the horseshoe down. The other one up
Okay.
is south.
So then my south node is also in my seventh house.
That loyalty and trust, baby, she brought it with her.
Oh, girl. To a fault.
Loyalty and trust in committed relationships, long-term personal relationships. That's, yeah.
I'm in it for life. I'm in it for life. This is why boundaries are so hard for me as well, because I'm loyal. I don't know what Lilith means, but we're going to have to look that up for sure.
You're not Captain Save-A-Ho. You're Captain I'm here for the long haul, baby. Let's go.
Well, not only that, I got Jupiter in there. So now we're going to make it big and expansive. And I might even lose myself in you.
Yeah, because Jupiter doesn't care where you jump. It just wants you to jump and jump again and jump again and jump
That's
again.
dumb. That just explained a whole lot. Yeah, I would have to say that, like, I think I tried to fit into the whole house, but like, I feel like this one is way more accurate than a whole house sign.
Yeah, dude. I was freaking some of these I'm like that one, I've ever since I learned that I was like, God, that makes so much sense. My freaking seventh
Hmm.
house with everything, all the correspondence, I'm like, yeah, get out of here.
Great, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Um, because I do have a tenant, all of those things. I'm very loyal. You could abuse me. I would be fine with it. It would make me sad, but like,
Once your
I'll be like,
trust is gained, it's hard to lose it.
yeah,
But
because I'm
then
a
once it's
fixed sign.
lost,
Well, yeah, then you're dead to me.
you're fucked
Then my
right away.
Capricorn kicks in and it goes dead. Like I won't even look at you as you walk into a room.
Yeah.
You don't exist to me anymore.
That stubborn Taurus, dude. Taurus is
Heck
like,
yeah.
nah, dude, you broke that. Goodbye. Who are you?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, we haven't met yet.
Who are you? Have I met you before?
They walk in the room, you're surprised they're alive. Thought you died. In my head,
That
you did.
that is a Taurus seventh house. Yes.
Yes,
Right
this is
there.
where I burn bridges too. Because usually, if I'm done with somebody, I'm done, and I burn the bridge. Um, I have tried to work on not burning that bridge so much. Some of them I don't mind. Light the match, get the gasoline, I'm okay with it. Some of them I know I have to kind of like wait it out.
Or like maybe build a gate
Yeah.
that you get to open when you want to instead of like there being no gate and the bridge is wide open all the fucking time.
Right. Well, and also it's not healthy for myself to lose myself into people. They like it. But it becomes after a while it becomes too much for me and too much for them. Right.
Yeah,
And it destroys that relationship. It almost like disintegrates it, really,
I
is what
get
it
it.
ends up doing. Yeah.
Seventh house, man.
Jesus Christ. I think I just went through a whole therapy session.
Well, good thing we have one, two, three, four, five more houses to go.
Oh, thank God. Hopefully hopefully it looks better.
So, eighth house, this
Eighth
is
house.
merging, intimacy, death, and transformation. We're ruled by Mars and Pluto, and we're going to
Uh,
correspond with Scorpio, which makes so much fucking sense for the eighth house.
I have debt, taxes, couple money, inheritance, and psyche.
As well as the occult is here,
Yes.
revenge and bad karma, jealousy and control.
Hmm.
Let's see, rituals, your everything spooky and spiritual is gonna live in your eighth house. So if you like have a
Yes.
Venus in your eighth house, loves the spooky spooky.
Hmm.
Life's mysteries, the unknowns, and the secrets that are held are in this house.
Hidden.
Nothing
Yes.
superficial is gonna be in this house.
Mm-mm.
What else do I have?
This would be others people's money too, like how you receive other people's money.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You got it. Transformation, healing, yeah. Um, there the three major themes too, which revolves around your relationships with others. So, like you said, other people's monies, other people's like transformations, things like that. It's like opportunities to grow and change from your own experiences with others. This is where my stellium is.
Oh God.
I not only have my sun here, but I also have my Mercury and my Jupiter, all in the eighth house, all in Libra.
Mercury, Jupiter. Sun, Mercury, Jupiter. What does it roll by?
Libra.
Libra. So this is where you're going to really strive to balance these forces that are working with you in the eighth house. This is all about you talk transformation, you lose yourself in transformation, um you shine in it. It's a big aspect of your life. Anything hidden, other people's money. Oh, I was just looking up something. Let's see. Go back to.
This is also like where I'm gonna vet where I value intimate relationships too, especially having that stellium with communication and my son.
Well, I mean, even like inheritance, uh, taxes and debt, stuff like that. Like it is other people's money and all that kind of stuff. So it can, again, we got that trickster god in there. And then we got Jupiter who wants to make it big.
Hmm.
And I think your task is to balance these energies in that arena, in that death and cycle and rebirth. Like this is where you're going to see the transformation go over and over and over and over again.
Change, change,
How
change.
you talk, how you receive joy and pleasure, how you um, shine within this lifetime.
Ah, I left it.
I have a circle with an X in it, and I don't know what that means. So I was kind of trying to look it up because this is from Cafe. I don't know. Fortune. Part of Fortune and South Node. So my eighth house. Oh wait, I just took over. Did you have any more?
No, yeah,
Oh, okay.
mine is all about change. Just lots and lots of change. I really like it. I really put importance on my intimate relationships with it being in Libra.
hmm
So,
hmm
yep, that's please continue. Because
All
your
right, so
eighth house is in Gemini, right?
yes, partly in Taurus, mostly in Gemini, but there is a sign that I have not seen at all, and it was a circle with an X in it. And here at Astrology Cafe, Astro Cafe, um, part of fortune. Use classic formula. I don't really know what that means. It's fortune, but I don't know.
Well, with
It
Gemini,
is.
I don't know if that has to do with your Gemini being in the eighth house. It's you really good at adapting and managing financial matters.
Mhm.
So does that kind of was it something to do with that? Like the
Oh, also my moon's in Taurus, but in the eighth house.
mm,
It just barely got there. But because it's an offset house, most of it is in Gemini in the eighth house, but my moon is in Taurus in the eighth house.
that explains why you find comfort in the occult. Geminis are a sign of higher learning, right? Really enjoy
hmm
higher learning.
hmm
Our eighth house is going to be our occult learning. Taurus is all about comfort. You find comfort going deeper into those aspects of life, such as the occult and human psychology. That's why you love reading shit about that. This is where your deep connection and growth within that, why you like it so much.
Absolutely. I mean, it says it. I mean, with all this right here, it's like, oh, well, no wonder. This is fine.
Right. So what do you mean? What is it? Great. We're happy. I like it here.
And the occult, can I learn more?
Right. Literally.
It has so many rabbit holes. It's just the best.
Do you guys have a deeper deep end? Because I want
Right.
deeper.
I like it. I like to dive. Yeah, that's really funny. I really want to see what that fortune means because I've never seen it. So now I think it's fake. And now I'm like, I must research this until the ends of the earth. Okay, so hyper, I'm gonna like, okay.
She's back.
I was like, what is this? Never seen this before. Um, yeah, the Gemini really helps with like navigating knowledge, attaining knowledge, talking about it, and then also feeling very comfortable in the unseen and seeing the unseen and not being so like I don't feel scared so much. I don't, not in this part. Like this is very straightforward to me. It's comfortable. It's where it's nighttime, like it's dark, and I am very comfortable in it because I have the light that shine reflects from the sun to help me through it and
Yeah.
illuminate the dark parts.
Where like I feel like that's where mine comes from with Libra, where it's like I'm able to rationalize it or make it make sense so quick, whether it sounds crazy to other people or not. It's like hard for me to get scared of. I get scared of real life stuff, not like anything that's part of like the occult or the spooky scary stuff. Nothing like that.
Well, and this house also rules. Like I think they take a call out sometimes and they put taboo in there. So anything that's taboo is very
Mm.
much so whatever the culture is like, you know, that also helps with anything like hidden or society deemed bad and wrong. And we both take comfort in bad and wrong. So
Heathens and rebels, we love it.
heathens. Okay,
Okay.
so what do we got?
Ninth
The
house.
ninth house, and this one is the higher learning.
There's spirituality and media relations as well.
This
And
also governs, I think, long trips too. So, like, not going to the grocery store, but going to Florida or going to California or Europe or whatever, long trips,
yes, this is
travel.
also ruled by Jupiter and corresponds with Sagittarius. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're traveling, this is also if you're like a traveler and you like to go and you like to see the culture and you like to go and see all the things about have to do with that place, this is that ninth house as well when they're on those long trips.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
This also is study, religion, faith, the divine, and God.
use forms of learning,
Mm-hmm.
philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So this house will guide you on your ultimate life journey and help you discover how to navigate your ideals and morals as well. Those are going to sit here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, this is like international relations, publishing, and yeah, truths, thoughts and truths.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because Sagittarius is no filter.
No filter, none.
What do you got in your ninth house there, buddy?
So my ninth house is in Scorpio and Pluto resides in my ninth house, Scorpio.
Ninth house. And Pluto is in it, so it's exalted. This is where your power is going to come in. You're going to either find it or have it. So again, death and transformation is right where your power is, right? Like that's
Yeah,
Scorpio, that's what that rules.
interest in the
So
occult again.
every time you transform, you shed a layer of skin, you become a new person.
Change. Yeah, yeah.
Agreed.
Challenges related to fear of change and losing touch with practical reality too. Desire to expand understanding of the world. Blah, blah, blah. I really like this shit is what my chart is telling me.
I have one brand, and
I have
that's it.
one brand and it is a spooktacular.
It
It
is, I have one brand. People are like, oh, did you watch
change.
that? Did it have a ghost in it? No? No, I didn't watch it.
Literally, one of my clients told me I'm a horror fanatic. And I'm like, well, yeah, or they'll try to recommend something. And I'm like, is it witchy? Is it spooky? Does it have a ghost? Is it paranormal? Is it got any horror whatsoever? No, I'm not watching that shit.
I know. I
Sorry.
always, I always have to be a liar and be like, yeah, I totally am gonna watch that. Never do.
Yeah,
Nope.
I just,
Mm-mm.
the
No, thank
most
you.
that you can get me to watch like that is Disney. We all
Mm,
know where the Disney emotions are at. Okay.
I
What's
do like
your
Disney.
what's your ninth house?
So this is somewhat in Gemini, but mostly in Cancer. So if we go with the formula of where the moon is, we go back to the occult, and this is why I have one brand.
One brand.
Because my moon is in the eighth house of death and yeah.
Cancer in your ninth house indicates a deep reverence for education and knowledge and expanding one's understanding of the world through learning. Let's see.
And here is why we're in ritual magic again.
Individuals are likely to be emotional, intuitive, and adaptable in their approach to higher education and travel. And the occult. Anyways, one brand, one brand. We have one brand. You know what?
Well, even like being Cancer in there, like this is probably really why I'm into I see faith and religion very differently than most people I found, and I understand it in a different level, and it does become frustrating because I don't have that like um not a lot of people think that way. They've either been branded or scarred by religion. And then once they've been scarred, it's like, nope, they're not willing to listen to anything else. And um I have that natural drive of like curiosity in religions.
Yeah.
And I don't even like to say it like this, but even in Christianity, like I don't like to actually necessarily be associated, but I find the Bible fascinating. I don't like tell people that either because it'd be taken so construed, especially right now. But I do. I find it super fascinating. I find it um comforting and uh mind-boggling all at the same time.
Oh, right there, baby, right in that ninth house said, yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right,
Okay,
so
moving
10th
right along.
house, 10th house.
This is your career, your public status, your legacy, your social statuses, your reputation, your public persona, your desire to climb to the top. This is ruled by Saturn and corresponds with Capricorn. Makes a lot of sense here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Does that go always moving on up
moving on up to the
east
east side.
side?
Your career is covered here, but it also extends beyond that to the work you do. So it's not just like, oh, my job sits here. It's the work you do within your job. It's how you're manifesting your true self through your job,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. It's like again, the legacy you're gonna leave. Your ego is gonna be tied to the 10th house as well because it's how you're seen by others. And I have prestige, awards, promotions, fame, legacy, government roles.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I have the father and fatherhood,
Mm-hmm.
is with that Saturn Capricorn rule.
Energy, right. But I think I'm pretty sure there's not just one place where father or mother actually show up
Oh,
because
no.
again, I think those parental figures become fluidity with gender kind of thing. But father would definitely well, I guess in most fathers represent like that sternness that but you could have a mother like that too, right? Like
Yes.
so it could very well the energy that you want to look for, whether it's your mother or father, is who is the stern rule follower, who is uh um just kind of they're not necessarily warm, but they're there to help you really succeed in life, even when you're being a little shit. They're the one that's gonna show up and be like, all right, kind of knock you down just a little bit so you could actually see uh what's good for you and what you're doing is harming. This is where this energy will really come in handy.
Yeah.
It can get obviously out of hand and be used for very ego-driven things, like that's a whole different story. But that would be that kind of energy, that like stern, like Minerva from Harry Potter.
Minerva. Yes.
She's very Saturny.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got in the
So
10th house?
Sagittarius, my north nodes here as well as my midheaven, and I don't know what the midheaven is, which we'll find out next week, but your north node is lessons. And I'm reading Sagittarius in the 10th house signifies that you enjoy widespread popularity and have a reputation for being extremely wise, experienced, and knowledgeable. You have a strong desire to explore in your career and your life, but that's my also where my north node is, which is supposed to be lessons
Mm-hmm.
learned.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure can't really understand what that means, but
So North Node. What was the other planet? Jupiter?
For your 10th house
For
ruler?
yours.
No, Midhaven. Midheaven.
Your Midhaven, and that's it?
Mm-hmm.
But it's ruled
Um,
by, hold on, I had something. I lost it.
it is ruled by Saturn.
Yours is ruled by Saturn?
Oh, the 10th house is.
Right. What is your 10th house?
Oh, sorry. It is Sagittarius. I'm not following. I'm sorry.
That's where
I
the
got
Jupiter
it.
came.
We're
I
here
was like,
now.
I had a whole thing come in as you were talking, and I was like, ah, and then like got all discombobulated. Okay, so Saturn's gonna want to try and keep you in boundaries. Well, your Sagittarius just wants to, like, it's on a leash. The Sagittarius wants to put you on a leash, and the Saturn wants to put you on a leash, where Sagittarius wants to be like free and expansive. Like you don't
Run,
want
baby.
any of that, right? Like run. Uh, at first, like a lot of the travel will be you gaining the knowledge, and I think after a while, what you're going to transform in is to that philosopher that can really like project out into the world and give the people what they need on that wisdom that you're so like right now we're gaining that wisdom. The problem is that have you're going to have to try and find structure with that and make that your friend.
Yes. Yeah, because everything you just said is exactly what I was reading about how like you're gotta learn how to like get comfortable to project into the world. Blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Um, okay, the Midhaven and Sagittarius suggest a public image that takes on the qualities of the mutable fire sign, emphasizing openness and magnanimity. So that's probably helpful being there too, with being in Sag.
Absolutely.
While my North
Absolutely.
Node's like, hey, like we're trying to learn this, my Midhaven's like, we're gonna help.
Yeah, yeah. No, everything that you got in there is actually really beneficial for strive upwards. It's just not going to happen as fast as you think it or want it to, really, is what it is.
Yeah.
Only because you don't want to be a false prophet.
No.
You want to actually like learn the wisdom. So like the hard parts of your life right now are being your teacher for the North Node. So that way, when you graduate, you'll be able to really help people through their lessons in life.
Mm. My
Yep.
Pisces is like, run away!
I don't like
We
it.
don't like it. Be free. Be free.
But that's exactly how you're going to respond to that, right? Because it's the North Node. So the North Node is like, this is all going to be hard, by the way.
Ooh. Okay, what you got at your 10th house?
Oh, it's not any better, let me tell you.
No, that's
So
lovely.
I've got Leo is ruling or is my 10th house. And then I have Sagittarius. I'm sorry. I keep calling Saturn Sagittarius. It's Saturn. Saturn is the planet in it, which is just fucking up everything.
So Leo's like, I want to be seen. And
Hmm.
Saturn's like, only a little bit. That we have rules to that.
Yeah.
It's like, but I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave the best legacy. I want a crest and memories with my name on it. And Saturn's like, no, we have
No.
boundaries to that. You're not getting that.
Mm, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. Well, and this is like my reputation's going to be a little bit harder. Like my public persona is going to be a little bit harder. I think this is why people find me intimidating. Um, Everything is on restriction. Fuck.
Everything has a chastity belt on it and said no. Saturn said
Seriously.
no.
No, there's a particular set of rules I think I have to actually follow to get if I want to be famous or more professional. Like,
Boo.
I don't know. Yeah, let's go to the next house. I'm
I
done with
know,
this
it's like
bullshit.
boo, that one sucks. Boo, moving on.
Well, and then being Capricorn, like that means that Saturn is like exalted. It's powerful.
It said,
It did say that. It did. It did say that.
you want things too fucking bad, baby.
Nope. Well, it's almost like too, the sun of Leo is so um far away from Saturn.
Yeah.
Like it's important, but it's not necessarily going to be seen. Like the work I do is not going to be seen, is really what that means.
Boo. Boo.
Boo hiss, boo hiss.
Boo hiss. All right, moving on from that
Moving
shitty
on.
placement.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh Lord.
I'm not going to be famous.
We are evicting her. Um, okay, 11th house, friendships, hopes, dreams, community.
Luck in groups
This is ruled by Uranus, and corresponds to Aquarius.
is good spirits, community, hopes and wishes.
Yeah, this is our like social house too. Humanitarianism is going to be a thing here.
Hmm.
Humans loving humans. Social
Uh,
justice and rebellion.
bigger picture. Yes, bigger picture stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Knowing the power of teamwork.
Hmm.
Um, this house is going to be like where it's going to encourage you to develop bonds and connections with others in the community to like further enhance and add value into your life. A lot of networking and collaboration.
Hmm.
I read that surprises, inventions, science fiction, technology all tend to live here too, and astrology lives in the 11th house as well,
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
right? I was like, oh well, yeah,
Hmm.
didn't even think about that. So
What do you,
my 11th house is in Capricorn.
Capricorn? Well, Capricorn's good because
I was
it's
gonna
ruled
say,
by Saturn
this is what I
and
like.
Uranus.
Because when we also read about this, it made a lot of sense because not only is my Neptune here, but also my Uranus is here too.
Hmm.
And I can't really remember what all we read, but we talked about it when we talked about the Neptune and Uranus, and those two hit hard for me because I was like, damn, yeah.
Well, Neptune is the underworld. No, that's Pluto. Neptune is the vast ocean, deep diving stuff. What's the other one in there?
Neptune and Uranus.
So this is where you're gonna get really quirky. And because your Uranus is very exalted in this planet in this house because of Aquarius, right? You said Aquarius, right?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. Um so it's just community. Neptune. This is friendship. Good luck, Capricorn. Capricorn's going to put a spin of boundaries and rules on all of this stuff, all the hopes and wishes, all the community, all. So you have a set of rules for a lot of stuff in your life, uh like with friendships, with community rules, even hopes and wishes. What you hope and wish for yourself have a lot of rules and containment on what you can and cannot have, um, or what community you're in, or anything like that. The Neptune would be like they're kind of opposite because I feel like with Neptune you would be more isolated and by yourself, but like it being in the role of community. So it could either be like you don't necessarily want to be in a group of people or be with people. You don't really necessarily feel um comfortable in that kind of setting. Um and you said Uranus is in this one too?
Nope. Or yeah,
Just Neptune?
Uranus and Neptune.
So, and then Uranus is in there like, I'm quirky. I'm gonna do whatever I want. And uh but Neptune's like,
Yeah, Neptune's like, we want friends that are going to make a change. And Uranus is like, who's the unconventional weirdos in the group? I want to be friends with you.
right,
So not only do I want weird, unconventional friends, I also want friends that are going to make a change and it has to be all together.
right.
In, in
Yep. But also within my rules and boundaries.
Yes, and also I would like freedom. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Fine. It's just fine. It's
Sorry.
contradict the whole thing.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. This was great until we got to 10, 11, 12.
I mean, fucking seriously, like we're not even 212 yet. So, what's your 11th house?
Oh God. 11th house is in Virgo
Mm.
and there's nothing there. So my Mercury's in Capricorn.
This is why you paid so much attention to your friends and
Absolutely.
details and like goals and group activities. This is why you're the one that's like, I think we should do it like this. I think you should do
Mm-hmm.
this. I saw
Mm-hmm.
this and I noticed this. And like, hey, did you see that?
Everything.
Yeah.
Every little. I know when your eyebrows are off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know when you come in and you don't feel good.
This is also why you walk into a room and you notice things are off immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That community aspect of it, or like that teamwork, if you have to be working with somebody, you know exactly what you want to do and how things should be. It's because that Virgo.
That Virgo and that Mercury. That Mercury in Capricorn, like it's all business.
Hmm. You should run your own business.
I should fall off a cliff somewhere. I think I should start over.
I
What are you?
think we should hit the reset button.
I do run my own business.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you probably run a bigger business. Everything in your chart's like, please open your big, your own big business. Why is that hard to say? It's like you'd be really good at it. Capricorn, Virgo, let's go.
Let's go. We're doing this.
12th house?
12th house. Get this shit over with. I'm
I
over it.
fucking know.
It's hard.
Well, good, because this is our house of endings and
Thank God it's
spirituality.
ending.
This
Thank
is
God it's
rule.
ending.
I know, right? This is ruled by Neptune, corresponds with
Hmm.
Pisces. This is going to represent everything to do with your own subconscious and your ability to avoid confrontation. Reality doesn't exist here. Fantasy is a preferred escape. That's think Pisces.
Retreat. Yeah. Hidden. release.
Dreams and intuition and psychic ability is also going to be
Hmm.
important to this house.
Prisons and hospitals are also with this uh
Yep.
house.
Yeah, because that's like your tendency to be confined in life is here. That's why
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
prisons and hospitals and stuff.
Yep.
Strong otherworldly qualities are important to this house, and it's the final house, as it's the final house, final one of the zodiac. Think like
Hmm.
we're done, the cycle's done. So where we meet endings, and this is certainly one of the most the more esoteric houses. Um, this house is also sometimes known as the House of Reckoning, because it helps you review what you've done in the past and decide where to go from there.
Hmm.
Um, and I asked
This
what your
is where we also have gathered all the knowledge. So if we went from Aries to, House of Materials to communication to home and roots, and we have now traveled, we have done the fool's journey or the hero's journey, and we have walked all the way. And this is where we've gathered all that like knowledge and experience, and this is where it all accumulates.
Mhm. Hmm. Also, karma is here too, right?
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah, karma comes into play now as it deals with consequences in this house. But also, I saw that the afterlife, old age, hidden agendas, empathy, drugs and alcohol, and sacrifices
Oh
all are
yeah.
in that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh God. Drugs and alcohol. What do you got in your 12th and final house?
my 12th house is in Aquarius, and my moon and Saturn are here.
12th house in Sagittarius?
Aquarius,
Aquarius. Great.
as well as Saturn. So, my moon and Saturn in Aquarius in the 12th house.
So Saturn is very strong in Aquarius because in the old chart it is linked with Aquarius. So it's the queen.
Mm.
It is very strong. It's um and then your moon would feel like your moon would not necessarily like to be here, but also it would be okay in it because it does rule hidden and illusionary kind of things.
Yeah, I've looked up this one a lot because I feel like this plays heavily in my life. My moon being in
Hmm.
Aquarius in the 12th house is why I have struggled with also losing myself in the way of giving to others.
Hmm.
It's a struggle. Um, yeah.
But it's the boundaries too, because like these are, again, we go with rules and restriction from Saturn. These are the lessons that you really need to kind of learn and put into place here.
Mhm.
Um, the moon is going to kind of hide some of that stuff from you, especially because being in the 12th house is about hidden things as well. So this is the hard part about the 12th house is that you're not going to be aware of these things that are here. And it's something that you would really have to, it's behind you, right? So it's kind of like you need to really sit in that 12th house and look at it to really get the full effect of it because you're not gonna inherently gonna see the trials and tribulations that it's gonna put you through.
Heck yeah, dude. This is that like I sacrifice so much and this is the thanks I get kind of energy. And like the good
Mm-hmm.
thing about
Mm-hmm.
this is like it does mean it helps with caring and the nurturing side, right? With the moon in the 12th house, but at the same time, it's all about like learning when to sacrifice and when to give to yourself.
Right. I do believe sometimes I think the moon when it's above the horizon, it it could represent your mom.
Mm,
But also, if you got Saturn there too, we could represent your father and your mother in there. If that's the way we're going with Saturn and the moon in the 12th house.
lovely. They're both in the 12th house, both above the horizon. I'm done. Just
I'm
kidding.
done.
All right, Nicole, give us your 12th house. Let's hear it, baby.
Ugh. Okay, so it's Libra and it is my ascendant and Pluto.
So change, you really like to transform, huh? But
Yeah, but
like
I can't
you
see
can't
it
see
because
where
it's
you're going,
hidden.
so lots of soul searching over there, bud.
So I can it's hard for me to find my power and my place and my confidence in this world. It's really hard for me to um sh- uh yeah.
The
Uh
intensity and power of Pluto's energy merge with the spiritual and intuitive qualities of the 12th house, prompting profound soul searching and a desire to explore the depths of the unconscious mind. These individuals may experience moments of profound insight, spiritual growth, as well as intense emotional purging and rebirth.
oh my God, is that not the truest thing I've ever heard in my entire life?
With it being in Libra, these individuals may possess an uncanny ability to sense the needs and desires of others, often becoming natural guides and healers. They may find a deep yearning for greater connection and understanding, both in their personal relationships and on a larger scale. This placement encourages Libra individuals to confront their own shadows, embrace their innate power, and channel it towards creating positive change.
Yep, my whole life.
Transformation station.
Transformation. That's one thing that has been really occurring in both of our charts is the transformation station because like
Oh,
it's
this is Transformation
almost
City.
seriously like it just repeats throughout and I've never really looked at it that way until we went through our own charts with us because every time we go through it we're like, oh, transformation change, spiritual transformation change, spiritual transformation. But we can't be conventional about it because
Yeah. Also, occult, 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 occult,
right.
occult. And I'm like, okay, we get it. We change in transformation in cult, the occult, the occult. We know.
Well, and that was the funny thing. I think I just looked up what a cult means because of occult and cult get interchanged with each other, and that's not necessarily what they mean. Like, cult means like a group of people, where like occult means hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like we want to undig what's hidden. Like, you know that feeling that you're trying to hide from me? Uh, yeah, I got it.
Yep.
I've seen it. I took it out. I looked at it. I put it back. It's fine.
Yep.
So on that note, I hope this was very educational. I know it was for me. I employ you to do the same with your chart because really do feel like it was very beneficial for me.
Heck yeah, it gives you so much insight on yourself and explains a
Hmm.
lot of the things that it basically brings light onto things that you could change that now you could see through
Right.
your chart, right? As well as it gives
Hmm.
you a more better understanding of certain things of like why you could be the way you are, or like where you struggle and why you struggle within that. And then it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not just a bad person and I don't just suck at life. It's because I
Well,
have this
yeah.
placement and it's a hard placement, so I need to learn how to work with it.
Hmm. Like that's the thing is you're not lazy, you're not stupid, you're not all these things that we tell ourselves mentally. It is nice to have something that is kind of mathematic wise because you can't now you can interpret it wrong, but the numbers are there. You can't move the numbers. The numbers are like they're there regardless of how you interpretate it. So And I would write everything down in pencil because I know for me, looking at my chart as long as I have, it has always given me new insight and new depths on like, oh, I thought it was this, but now I have a deeper understanding of what that means. Because
Yes.
there are whole books written on just what the houses mean just by that. Or just what the signs are meant. So, like, if you want, there are classes on this. I implore you to go out and get classes on that because even just one class of Astrology 101 kind of gives you a footing in the world. So you're not so overwhelmed because with all of this, because it is a lot, and this is just the tip of the iceberg because there's so much more in all of this than I have ever like there's a whole universe more on just astrology because when you get down and really good at it, you can predict what your whole year is going to look like. And that's a progressive chart. And that's where we take the wheel and we turn it on the dial, one click of the wheel for every year that you've been alive. And this changes the structure of where the planets are playing out in your chart. So
Yeah.
like you can use those energies to be like, if I wanted to buy a house, if I want to try to look for a mate, like those are things that I can really like look into my chart and be like, okay, this energy is really good right now. I could do that. Or like in the future is be like, oh, so I got 5 years before the energy is really good for me to buy a house. So I'm going to use everything I have to be prepared for that day.
Yes. Well said, bud. We do next week, we're going to go into like all the little bits. We're going to call it the little bits, extra bits of astrology. We'll
Mm-hmm.
go into the
Mm-hmm.
different systems, and then we're going to go into all these things that you see on your circle chart that we have no fucking idea what they are.
Right, right. Like that one thing that I found that I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the hell is that? We don't know, but you're
We
going to
don't
find
know.
out next week, hopefully.
Yep, hopefully.
All right, peeps. Well, we will see you in the next episode. We hope you have a good week.
Bye, heathens.